Well, hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to Tuesday. I know it's been a long time since I've posted anything on YouTube. So, guys and gals, tell me, shoot me a comment and tell me exactly where you're chiming in from. And I already see a few people I'd like to say hello to. So, Jeremy, he said 17 minutes and counting. DK says ready. Richard Collins from Michigan. Um, Extraordinaire. Okay, extraordinaire from Michigan. Richard, extraordinaire in what area? Uh, so Ejax, is that how you say it? Hello from Allen Park, Michigan. Richard said Ensenada here. Well, hey, how you doing, Richard? DK from Foxborough, Massachusetts. T and J from Michigan. Renee Porter from Virginia Beach. Hey, mom, how are you? And Heath from Ohio. So I don't know if you saw the title, but I have been gone for a little while, and I did have a few things that I wanted to talk to you about, a few things that have been going on in the Goodview Woodworks. But the main thing that has been going on is I have been at work. My full-time job, I work for a railroad contractor, and I build control houses that operate track signals, track switches, and signals. So we had a really big job come in and we needed to work overtime. We were putting in about 12 hours a day, and it didn't leave much time for me to, when I got home, to see my family and my little baby and post videos. So obviously family is more important, so videos come second. But we're done with overtime, so I can get back to it. I'm glad you guys showed up for Shop Talk Tuesday live. So it's been a while. You know, I really enjoy these. I hope you guys enjoy these as well. If you do like these, go ahead and hit the like button. You know, that way it puts it higher up in the queue. Um, so Richmond Custom says, hey, bro, good to see you. Back, need some more sweet jobs. Thanks for the videos. No problem. So Richmond Customs, are you located in Richmond, Virginia? And Heath says, thanks for the good info. Starting my first project soon. So Heath, yeah, man, if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask over at goodviewwoodworks.com. There, you can email me there, or we have the Facebook community group. So if you guys haven't, if you guys don't follow that group yet, go on Facebook and look up Goodview Woodworks community. Also, you can also go to Instagram and direct message me there if you have any questions. And this evening, feel free to just message me any questions that you have about epoxy or woodworking or whatever in the comments in the live chat. Wayne Griffiths, I see you. What's going on? What's going on, Wayne? How are you? Wayne was helping us while we were working overtime too, so he was there right there. So appreciate that, Wayne. Richard says, have you reached a point where you can show off a little that little ankle biter? Oh, yeah. Do you wanna see Roxy? I can bring in Roxy. Yeah. How do you say that? Yeah, Danovic says, good to see you back, miss you. I appreciate that. And Scottsville, Kentucky, Richmond Customs. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. All right, guys. So let's jump on into it. First of all, I'd like to say that we're going to continue. Once again, we're going to do another Cheapskate challenge. And since nobody entered the last Cheapskate challenge, we're going to do that again. It'll be any project that you want, epoxy project that you want to do has to include a 2x4. And it will be, your project just needs to be sent to me on Facebook or Instagram. Or you can send everything, Facebook or Instagram, titled Cheapskate Challenge. And we'll be giving away some pigments to the winner, some Goodview Woodworks pigments. The rules are, it can be any epoxy project However, you have to include a 2x4 from one of your local stores. So it has to be dimensional lumber. New dimensional lumber, can't be old 2x4s. So those are the rules. So Richmond Customs has been doing some projects. Check out my Instagram, Richmond Customs. I can totally do that. Oh, Richard says, not Roxy. I mean that beautiful little girl of yours. Richard, yes, I will eventually, but we still haven't finalized the adoption. And so once that's finalized, which would be in a couple of months, I then will be able to post, and you guys will be able to see our beautiful little daughter. Um, Nick Sheldon says, Sheldon in full effect here. What's up, Nick? How you doing, man? Jennifer says, hey, Nathan, and good viewers. Hey, Jennifer. It's a long time since seen you on here, and you know why? Because I haven't been on here, but I appreciate you coming back. Any luck on that tortoiseshell look? Let me know. DK says, so any epoxy project long as it has a 2x4 in it. DK, yes. Any epoxy project long as it has a 2x4 in it. It can be big, small, does not matter whatsoever. And you can, your entries can be in by midnight the last Saturday of this month. So I'll be posting a video, just maybe a short video about that here soon, so you guys can get the full details, and I will probably be doing one myself. So really appreciate that. Edward, hey, Ed Sontag, how you doing, man? He says she's beautiful. Hey, Nathan, best guy out there, you man. Hey, I appreciate that, Ed. Guys, if you, so Ed, he hooked me up. He owns a Woodcraft of Richmond. They do a lot of cool classes there. They have a lot of cool products up there. They carry Rubio Monocoat, and they now carry Stone Coat Countertops Epoxy. So if you're in the Richmond, Virginia area or anywhere close, you can go over there and grab some stuff from him. Ed's a really nice guy, and he actually has Goodview Woodworks has me up there teaching classes at the Richmond Woodcraft. So if you guys are local and you want to come learn how to do, river tables, feel free to check out Woodcraft of Richmond and their website, and you can go on there and get more information about the river tables. So sorry, let me get to some of these comments. So T&J Outdoors says, hey, Nick, it's Jeremy from Michigan. Thanks for the help on Sunday. Yeah, Nick has really been helping out the good viewers as well, especially on the Goodview Woodworks community page, or community group, excuse me. He's been hooking up people there. He has a pretty cool business as well, Blue Water Wood Co. You can check them out on Facebook as well. Go show Nick some support when you're done watching this live stream, and I'm sure he would appreciate that. Richmond Customs says, also love pointers on your work. It's definitely helped me a lot. The Starbond glue was awesome stuff. Yeah, man, I really like the Starbond stuff. It really is a nice product. Oh, Jeremy P says, waiting on my order of ocean blue pigment from you. Can't wait. Hey, Jeremy, I fulfilled that order yesterday, so it should be in by the end of the week, by latest early next week. So you should see that soon. Nick also ordered some Goodview Woodworks pigment, and if he's used it, I don't know if he's used it yet, but maybe we can ask him, hey, Nick, have you had a chance to use the pigment, and let us know if you like it or not. Ed said he didn't need to do that, but thank you. Hey, Ed, anytime, man. Aaron Hungay says, you've been sleeping for a month or what? Not sleeping, working my bottom off. So yeah, normal routine was to get up at 4:45 in the morning, and I didn't get home until between 6 and 8 o'clock at night. So, I don't know about you guys, but I need a little bit of sleep at night, and I like to spend some time with my family as well. So, but luckily that overtime is over, so I can get back to posting some more videos. And on that subject, we have some really cool stuff. So Incredible Solutions, Goodview Woodworks and Incredible Solutions are we're going to partner together. They have a great casting epoxy. Their casting epoxy is a very slow cure. It takes about 2.5 days to get hard enough to pull out of the mold. It still takes about a week to fully cure, but that stuff is really cool. I have had a chance to work with it, and they have a really nice product. And on that note, I wanted to stress to you guys, if you are pouring a large table, the brand of epoxy is key. I can't stress this enough, and I have made mistakes in this area as well. If you're making a large table, do not seal the edges. I know I've said before to seal the edges, wait till it's tacky and pour again. But I find that sometimes it still is not good enough. We really want to not seal the edges. And I know you guys are going to ask, like, okay, well, what about the bubbles? If you have an epoxy that cures very slowly, it gives the bubbles a chance to rise to the surface. And I've talked with some guys who have been in the industry longer than me, and they say the same thing. Make sure you get a good epoxy that's a little thin, takes a while to cure, and it soaks into the edges of the wood and gives you the best bond. And that's what I want to say to you guys. Like, we need to make sure that we don't seal the edges. You can, but the best way to get the best bond is to not seal the edges. Now, if you have a clear pour and you don't want to see those bubbles, you can still seal the edges, but don't let it set up too much. You still want it to be like taffy or thick syrup when you make the final pour. And so I wanted to tell you guys that because I don't know if you guys remember the black walnut conference table. I sealed the edges on that, and it is starting to separate. The wood is starting to separate from the epoxy. So what I'm going to have to do is fill in the crack and then pour a flood coat over the entire slab, and that will fully encapsulate it. And the cool part about encapsulating a slab like that is that air cannot enter or escape, moisture can't do that, and the wood cannot move after that. So if you guys remember the yacht table, I don't know if you can see it on the floor, but right behind me, right back there. It has been in the boat, it has been in AC and humid weather, it hasn't moved a bit, and that's because I've fully encapsulated in epoxy with flood coats. So let me get to some comments before I take up too much time. So Aaron said, Nick Sheldon says it's awesome. He's saying the Goodview Woodworks pigments are awesome. And so I really appreciate that, Nick. I like them as well. And Nick says, I can't see it until I receive the mail. So Nick hooked me up. Apparently he's sending me a little board in the mail with the Goodview Woodworks pigment. So I'm really excited to see it. Hey, Nick, I really appreciate that, man. So guys, in other news, what's coming up down the pike, we have, I'm going to be making a ring box here soon. So that's going to be really cool. And in that project, we'll be using our parrot or macaw pigment. And that is a color changing pigment, a flip-flop pigment. And what I mean by flip-flop is that it changes from purple to green. It's a really cool color depending on the light. So if it shimmers and changes from one to the other. You may call it a chameleon color. So that is a really cool pigment, and I can't wait to use it on this project coming up. We're probably going to be doing a darker wood, maybe like a mahogany or a black walnut mixed with the macaw pigment. If you guys want to go to goodviewwoodworks.com, you can check out the pigments there. Hey, Nick, I appreciate it, man. And so so that is one project. So what I was saying about Incredible Solutions, they're working with me, and they have a really good deep pour resin, a casting epoxy. And you can pour up to, so from my tests, you can pour up to 2.5 inches thick in a single pour. They say 2 inches, but you can go a little thicker, up to 3. The trick is that you have some fans blowing on the top of it to keep the heat away. But if you pour any more than 2 inches. You can pour up to 3. You got to have some air movement on it so it cools it down. That way it doesn't overheat and crack. Having said that, we're going to do a pretty cool experiment coming up. We have, if William Wagman is listening, we have his beehive that we are going to cast and then turn a bowl out of it. That's going to be a really cool project. That's coming up. I have confidence in the Incredible Solutions epoxy to it'll soak into that hornet's hive, the bee's nest, and we're going to turn a bowl out of that on the lathe. And then we will also, a friend of mine just cut down a tree, and I'm curious to see what happens if we epoxy a wet slab of wood. It's actually a cookie, so it'll be a round one. And I think I know what's going to happen. However, if I think if I do some seal coats and then fully encapsulate it in epoxy, I think we'll be good, but I'm not sure. So that'll be a really cool experiment coming up. So there's a few things that are coming up soon. Good View Woodworks channel. So you guys stay tuned, and it's going to be really, really cool. So Aaron Hudgate says, "What is your favorite pigment you sell?" So I really like the Caribbean blue. That's one of my favorites. Actually, my favorite color is green, but that's a really cool color. And I like the color changing pigments. So we have 4 of them right now. Toucan, macaw. I forgot the other names there. There's 2 more, but they range from blue to purple, yellow to red, and purple to pink, and there's one more, green to gold. Those are the 4 color changing pigments, and those are my favorite so far. Obviously, you guys see me do a lot of the pearl white. Pearl white's also one of my favorites. So that one's called Great White. I really like that one as well. DK says, "How do you think any party table would do on the back deck during the summer?" So I guess party table, that would be something that's outside. I think that it would be okay. This is the problem. You need to cover it up from the weather. But all epoxy is yellow in sunlight. UV causes them to turn to amber a little bit. So my suggestion would be to use some sort of finish over top of the epoxy to keep it from yellowing. When I get some more information on that, I have there's a friend of mine who's an auto body painter, and he uses this certain clear coat for when he does carbon fiber stuff to keep it from ambering. And so once I get some more information, I'll let you guys know that as well. Jeremy says, "Feed that child. She's hungry by the sounds of it." That's crazy that you can hear her, because I can barely hear her. It's funny that the camera picks it up. But yeah, actually, Aaron just fed her. So she actually just found her voice here recently. So she screams just to scream. It's really funny. So she's usually smiling and happy, even though she sounds like she's crying. So DK was just explaining epoxy table outside, summer back deck. So yeah, hopefully that helps, DK. And then Renee says, "Jeremy, she's crying for her grandma." T&J Outdoor says, "Did a wet round log, split everywhere as it dried, but I did not cover in epoxy. I just poured the center." Yeah, see, yeah, I have had that experience too. But I want to see what happens if I fully encapsulate it. So there's another YouTuber that I tried to reach out to, and I'm not going to give his name, but he's a sawyer. He saws logs, and he was giving me a really hard time about epoxy and just that it's not good, and that nobody knows exactly what it would do after 10 years or whatever. So whatever. I just want to see what happens. I don't think this individual knows exactly what he's talking about when it comes to epoxy. He's a great sawyer. He knows exactly what he's talking about when it comes to wood and things like that. But how epoxy affects it, I don't think he has any experience. So it's kind of silly. Sometimes people will, you know, they're kind of haters when they're unfamiliar with stuff, but I think it's all good. I think experimenting is good. Um, so Aaron Hungay says color change in lighting. Can you explain that process at all? Yeah, sure. So those pigments do require a black background or a dark background to work. You can use, or you can do a really high pigment load. But if you want to use a very low pigment load, you have to have a black background. And all it does is it shimmers and changes color almost like bird's feathers or reptile skin, stuff like that. They're pretty cool. Nick Sean says Caribbean and ocean with metallic white. Booyah. I guess that. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. Did it turn out well? Jennifer says, Aaron, think more color shift. It doesn't change fully. Right, Jennifer, you're right. Yeah, it's a color shift. It kind of shimmers one way depending on the light. So it's not full on color change. It's kind of flip flops. It shimmers. DK says, I don't care what's going to happen. My epoxy table in 10 years, just enjoying it now. Yeah. Well, I can tell you. So if you guys remember one of my most popular videos, it's a little coffee table where we did like the slab is in the middle and the resin's on the outside, almost like an island table, or a sandbar table if you want to go with the whole river theme. And that one I fully encapsulate. I even left the bark on it. And guess what? It's been 2.5 years and nothing. Hasn't moved a single bit. No pitting in the epoxy, no dips, nothing. It's exactly the same as I gave him. The only thing is, where the clear epoxy was, it started to amber just a touch. Obviously, it has direct sunlight being in the living room and sunlight shining on it, but that's it. David Hall, so maple versus black walnut for a nightstand. If you're asking my opinion, I like maple and black walnut almost the same. I would say if the black walnut has crotch figure, I would go with that. But if the maple was curly, I would go with the maple. Aaron says, that's what I figured. Cool. So Jeremy says, was there any glow in the dark on your website? No, not yet. I'm talking with the manufacturer at this time. Maybe we can get some in the future, but that's really cool. So guys, leave me a comment real quick. How many of you would use glow in the dark pigment? Just curious. So as far as things that are coming up in the future here, there's one other thing that I wanted to share with you. So it ended up being an epic failure, but I bought a cup turner to try out, doing some tumblers and trying to see just what I could do. And I used some of my large metal flakes here. I don't know if you can see them, the glitter here. These are pretty big. They're 1/8 inch. Each of them are 1/8 inch, so they're pretty big glitter pieces. And it was just my fault. I didn't put enough epoxy on at first, which is fine because I added a second coat, no worries. And the cup turner did really well. The problem was I got lazy and I didn't stir with a stir stick when I had just a little bit of epoxy. I used a paddle and I got bubbles in the final finish. So that video will be coming out next. You'll get to see where I messed up, but we will do it again with some other pigments. So that one should be pretty fun. So look, we have Jeremy, James, David, Jennifer, Aaron. They all said, and Richmond Custom said they would. You guys would like some glow in the dark stuff. So okay, so what I'll do is I'll get in touch with them later on this week and see what we got. And next Tuesday I'll let all you guys know. For all of you that haven't gone on to the Facebook, if you don't have Facebook, whatever, but if you haven't gone on there and joined Facebook, the Goodview Woodworks community group, I would appreciate that. that place there, you can go, you can post as many pictures as you want, you can ask questions. That's just a place that's kind of like Goodview Woodworks Insiders group. That's just for you guys. You guys can chat on there, and other people can help answer questions and all kinds of stuff. I'll be posting my latest videos on there, plus uh, discounts on the pigments and things like that. We have one coming up this weekend, which I haven't posted yet, but I will. But we'll be having a little discount for Valentine's Day on some of the pigments, so that'll be cool. Nick says, got some, as I say, GID pigment in stock. Love it. What is GID? Oh, glow in the dark. Okay. Duh. All right. Yeah, you got some glow in the dark pigment in stock. Love it. Okay. Cool. Oh, what colors do you have, Nick, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? All right, guys, if you have any questions, so that was all the news for the upcoming Goodview Woodworks channel. If you have any questions, let me know now. Before we sign off here, I want to get to any last comments, but you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching tonight. Thanks for just hanging in with me while I've been gone working and stuff like that. You guys are awesome. Quilting on a budget says, nice to catch you. How are you doing? Hey, Quilting on a Budget, this is the first time I've seen you here on the channel. Thanks for coming on here with us during the live stream. It's pretty awesome. And DK says, don't be a stranger. Yeah, Jeremy P says, thumbs up. Yeah, guys, if you haven't done it already, hit the thumbs up button for me. That way it puts it up higher in the queue. You guys are awesome. All right, with that being said, guys, you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and just this is one of my favorite times during the week. I really, really appreciate it. It's nice to see you guys. Quilting on a Budget real quick says, I make quilts, but I love anything hands-on like wood and leather stuff. Well, that's really cool. David Hull says, I was thinking with the color shift, the macaw or toucan. Yeah, those are both really, really cool. So yeah, if you guys can go check it out, that would be great. Once again, you all are awesome, and thanks again. And I can't wait to see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Good night, guys.